Dit is Papa Alpha 0 Echo Tango Echo voor de Daily Minutes met een nieuwsupdate voor vandaag 1 april 2016. Dit is het bulletin voor vrijdag. Deze uitzending is geen grap. Vandaag hebben we maar één item en dat is in het Engels. Het allereerste begin van de Radio Noordzee Internationaal. Dit item duurt zo lang dat we voor één keer morse, data en SSTV overslaan. De totale uitzending duurt bij benadering ruim 12 minuten.
The Radio North Sea International story is a dramatic and exciting account of the world's most eventful offshore radio station. The station whose dramas made news headlines all over the world. The station which was chased around the North Sea by governments, bombed, jammed and attacked, and finally to be silenced by the Dutch government. The RNI story starts in 1968, when Erwin Meister and Edwin Bollier were installing radio equipment on the MB Galaxy, the former home of the English offshore station of the 1960s, Radio London. The station was to transmit easy listening and pop music off the coast of Germany. However, in January 1969, the project fell through, owing to the introduction of the Marine Offences Act by the German government. Disappointed by the decision, both Meister and Bollier decided they'd start their own station. A 347-ton ship was purchased and named the Mebo, from the first two letters of their surnames. After completion, it was decided that a much larger radio ship would be more suitable, so they bought the 630-ton MV Silvretta. The 186-foot ship was renamed the Mebo II. This ship was lavishly fitted out to become the most modern of all offshore radio stations. 2 studios were built on board, and the transmitter room was fitted with 4 transmitters, which were a 105 kilowatt RCA medium wave model, 2 shortwave 10.5 kilowatt transmitters, and a 1.2 kilowatt FM transmitter. On the 22nd of January 1970, the brightly painted Mebo II left Slikkerveer in Holland for her anchorage off Noordwijk. The next day at 10:30 p.m., a test transmission was broadcast on 6210 kHz in the 49-meter shortwave band and on 102 MHz FM.
Meine Damen und Herren, Sie hören weiterhin das Testprogramm von Radio Nordsee International, ausgestrahlt vom Motorschiff MS Mebo II. Und wir benötigen Ihre Mithilfe. Schicken Sie uns doch bitte Empfangsberichte und schreiben Sie auf diese Berichte, wann Sie uns gehört haben, wo Sie uns gehört haben und wie alt Sie sind. Und das alles bitte an folgende Adresse: an Radio Nordsee International 8047 Zürich, Postfach 113 in der Schweiz. Ich wiederhole, unsere Adresse lautet Radio Nordsee International 8047 Zürich, Postfach 113 in der Schweiz.
Roger Day takes up the story.
I had a lot of people phoning me up saying, "Here, there's a new pirate station," as I always did, exactly in that voice. "Are you going to join it?" And as I'd heard about 800 other rumours of radio stations joining, I said, "Oh yeah, believe it when it happens." So I saw this advert in disc that said, "Experienced disc jockeys." So even though it said that, I still applied, and I got this weird letter back from Zurich, and I thought I had nothing to lose by going and seeing them, because they said come across and see us in Scheveningen, where they were staying at the Grand Hotel, and I met these 2 characters, 1970s answer to Punch and Judy, called Meister and Bollier. And I think Laurel and Hardy were funny, a couple of characters. They made me laugh more anyway. And they said, "Oh yeah, we got a radio station." And I thought, oh sure, you know, like you've paid me for coming over and everything, but I still won't believe it until I see it. And at that time it wasn't even testing. But they said, "Well, come and see our boat, can you stay on?" I said, "Well, I've got to get back to England for a few things, because I was earning my living out of discotheques then, and I was in no way going to turn down valuable contracts to stay over there." So I said, "Well, I've got to do it today." And they took me to the harbour, and we went out, and on the horizon appeared this gaudily painted thing, which must have killed off all the fish in the area. It was painted, I'd never seen anything like it. It was really what they termed psychedelic painting, and it had a big aerial, so I presumed there was a transmitter on board. Went on, and the studios were just about complete, with some strange equipment in there, and I had a look. And they said, well, do you want the job? And I said, sure. Well, they said, well, can you stay? I said, look, I've got a wife and everything. I can't just stay. We don't do things like that. I've got to go home and tidy up loose ends. So I went home and thought, oh, well, nothing to lose. I was a bit fed up with doing discotheques. And a couple of weeks later, I joined R&I, but not before I recorded a test announcement for them saying, if I can remember it correctly, this is Radio North Sea International, the sound of a... Hang on, what was it? This is the sound of Europe, Radio North Sea International on test transmissions. We would appreciate listener reception reports, so if you're hearing us, and you must be to be hearing me say this, please write to us at RNI, P.O. Box 113, 8047, Zurich in Switzerland. I'll repeat that again for you. It's RNI for Radio North Sea International, P.O. Box 113, 8047, Zurich, Switzerland. We'd appreciate it if you wrote in, and please keep on listening. And I did put that on cassette and left it with them, and was quite amused a couple of days later to hear this very loud hiss on my radio, and then my announcement coming over, because as you can imagine, my phone started going kind of wild with people saying, yeah, we've heard you're joined Radio North Sea. I said, no, it can't be me, I'm here. And it might sound like me, but I wouldn't join one of those pirates. You get arrested for that, you know.
The chairman of the board of the Happiness Corporation. Charge!
Radio North Sea, 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 Radio North Sea.
The next month, the 105 kilowatt medium wave transmitter was tested on 186 meters. And a week later, live tests started when the DJs arrived. Alan West, Carl Mitchell, and me, Andy Archer.
They said, who do you know that we can employ? And I mentioned umpteen people who they didn't really contact. Why, I don't know, but anyway, some of whom I mentioned, of course, were people like Andy Archer, that is, Alan West, Carl Mitchell. But anyway, Andy, Carl and Alan I knew were in the same position as myself, ex-radio people looking for radio work, not really getting on too well with the BBC if they wanted to get on with them at all. And I phoned them up and said, look, come out and see what we can do. And of course they just about came out of the next tender.
Alan West takes up the story.
In the early days it was very good, much better actually than it was in the latter days. Every facility was there. There was more food, wine, spirits and beer and cigarettes and cigars than one could cope with, and the money was very good.
At 6 p.m. on the 28th of February, the station officially opened with German and English programming.
And don't forget you are tuned to Radio North Sea International, the sound of Europe on 186 metres medium wave, shortwave 49 metre band and a shortwave 31 metre band. Goedemorgen Morgan to you, dames and heren, I think that's... sorry about my pronunciation. That's 102 megacycles.
Where the action is.
On the afternoon of the 23rd of March 1970, the Mebo 2 left her anchorage and headed for the English coast.
I'd like to wish you a very good evening, Ramsey. But this was necessary in preparation of our short journey to England.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to repeat our previous message. The Mebo 2 is now leaving the coast of Holland. We at Radio North Sea International would like to take this opportunity to extend to our friends in Holland, especially all of the people in Scheveningen and the Grand Hotel, for their friendly cooperation during the first 2 months of broadcasting. As we cross the North Sea, we leave you with our most heartfelt thanks. To the people of Great Britain, we can only say, we are on our way.
When we sailed to England, it was electric, the atmosphere. It was rather like reliving the Johnny Walker thing about sailing up the River Thames and knocking down Tower Bridge on the way. It was great fun.
R&I makes me happier than I ever been before.
A pirate radio ship was early today preparing to anchor off the east coast and beam pop music to England. The Swiss-owned pirate ship Mebo II, which broadcasts Radio North Sea International, left the Dutch coast yesterday evening announcing that they were moving to a position off the Essex coast outside British territorial waters.
The psychedelically painted Mebo II dropped anchor off Holland-on-Sea, Essex, at a position of 51 degrees 42.5 minutes north, 01 degrees 17 minutes east.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, actually, it's very nice to be here, well, you know, in our old position, looking at lots of things. I look at my cabin window and all that sort of thing. But there's only one drawback. Yes, you know I haven't said anything about it so far. It's that dreadful tender ride back again.
The decision to sail the ship to the English coast proved to be a bad move for RNI. The medium wave signal caused interference to the Walton-on-the-Naze Coast Guards. So the medium wave transmitter was switched off until a new wavelength was found.
This is Radio North Sea International, currently broadcasting on the 49-meter shortwave band, 6.210 megacycles, and on Channel 50 FM 102 megacycles. A repeat of our earlier message, a delight recently received from Zurich, that we must turn off our medium wave transmitter for at least 2 days. We have now confirmed that there has been interference with coastal communications. For this, the management of Radio North Sea International extends their sincere apologies to all concerned.
What good are friends if you never call on them? Your best friend station.
On the 10th of April 1970, the station returned to the air on 190 meters, 1578 kilohertz.
Now 10 minutes past 1, and we have little information for you that, other than the fact that Radio North Sea International, which is the big news of the day, is on the air today for the first time, and will be going through until 2 o'clock, and then from now on 5:30 a.m. to 2 a.m. each and every day, and 190 meters on the medium wave band, 1578 kilocycles, or on the FM band at Channel 50, 102 megacycles. And the other little tidbit of information we have for you is that Paul McCartney now says he's no longer a Beatle.
This is Radio North Sea International, Europe's only all-day music station, broadcasting from 51 degrees 42 minutes 30 seconds north, 1 degree 17 minutes east, on 190 meters on the medium wave band. Also broadcasting in short wave on the 49-meter band, 6.210 megacycles, and in FM on Channel 50, 102 megacycles. On the air from 5:30 a.m. to 2 a.m., this is Radio North Sea International.
Vergeet niet om vanavond om 2100 uur naar PI 4AA te luisteren.